Today, we are going to talk about 5 different companies that can help you with fleet acquisition and building, growing, and expanding your fleet in this industry. First of all, the most obvious company I want to talk about, first of all, right off the bat, is Putty. Putty is a great company with regards to expanding and building your fleet. If you download the PDF in the description of this video, you will get a link to my partner program with Putty. They're a great company with regards to just building and expanding your fleet. In my experience of working with Putty, if you have decent credit, they usually will give you at least $100K for the purpose of acquiring new cars. Typically speaking, what I have seen with Putty is that when you are applying for a line of credit with them for auto acquisition, they like to see not only a good credit score from you, but also about 2 to 3 years minimum of operational experience for your business. If you are at that level, then I would say you will likely get anywhere from a $200K to a $500K credit line for auto acquisition. If you are relatively new to this business, a lot of times people apply to Putty when they are new. They typically start people off with around $100K. But like I said, if you want to take advantage of my referral link for that, download the PDF. You will see that in the email that comes to you. Before I move any further, click below, grab the 5 things you must do before starting a car rental business. That also includes the Car Share Growth Guide, which gives you a city-by-city breakdown of which car share platform is strongest in your area. There is a lot of good information in there. Number 2, let's talk about another company based out of Texas. I like them a lot. They are Mobilease. That's mobilease.com. They are a company that's kind of more of a traditional auto financing company. They can get you a good amount of financing for auto acquisition. Typically, they start you off anywhere from 2 to 10 cars, I would say, based on your credit profile, based on the size of your company and the amount of revenue that you've already got going. It's a pretty good system with regards to, they'll give you a quote on the car. Typically, you have to put X amount down. Like on a $23,000 car, they'd probably ask for you to put down $3,500. You pay around $650 a month in total costs. And then after 3 years, you will own the car outright. In my experience, this has probably been the easiest company to work with regards to auto acquisition. I've had a great experience with them so far. Obviously, I've worked with them on behalf of my own company. The third company I would recommend is Tenet EV. Tenet is typically focused on electric vehicles. This is a great way to acquire Teslas or any other kind of electric vehicle. The EV purchasing tax credit is going away as of January 20th, so that will no longer be available to Tesla purchases or any kind of EV. So the tax credit is going away with this new administration. What I would tell you is that if you want to take advantage of that, you have until a little under 2 months to take advantage of that tax credit. That said, in my experience in talking to and working with Tenet EV, same sort of situation with Putty. If you are a business that is trying to grow, if you are new, they'll probably start you off with 1 or 2 cars. But if you are a more established company, they will be happy to give you more than that, probably around 5 to 10 cars, and just to see how you go. Obviously, a lot of it depends on your credit profile as well. So all that to say, I would tell you that Tenet EV is a pretty solid company as well. I've had a good amount of interaction with them also. Number 4, I will tell you about Springfree EV. Now, I've had extensive experience working with Springfree EV. I'm kind of of 2 minds about this company. I've worked pretty closely with them over the years. My general feeling about them, in terms of who runs the company, I think they're very intelligent people. I think they really know their stuff. I would just say that the economics of their packages don't really make a whole lot of sense unless you are doing private rental agreements to Uber drivers. That is really the only situation in which I think Springfree EV makes sense. I know I've talked about them over the years on this channel. If you are doing Turo, if you are doing Getaround, if you are doing any kind of car sharing, Springfree EV does not make sense at all. Really, the only use case they make sense is if you are doing private rental agreements to Uber drivers and the Uber drivers are cool with electric vehicles. A lot of their monthly payments are very high. They're typically over $1,000 a month. So even if you are doing private rental agreements, the monthly payment in and of itself is very expensive. So I don't love that about them. And I would also tell you that their underwriting process is very difficult. My general feeling is I'm not in love with these guys, but I will tell you that in some use cases, it does make sense. I know there are companies out there that utilize Springfree EV. They've grown and expanded through them. So it is available. Not my favorite company. The last company I want to bring to your attention is Swapalease. swapalease.com. This is kind of an interesting company. This is a website where you can pick up somebody's car lease. People are trying to get rid of leased vehicles and you can take their leased vehicles. Many times lease contracts have a provision where you can't do any kind of renting or car sharing or whatnot. That said, like really nobody ever checks this because in this industry, we have a ton of cars that are being leased, that are being put on car share, ride share, or whatever. So technically you're not supposed to do that, but like I said, it's rarely enforced in this industry. So I would take a good look at Swapalease, see if you can get somebody and people who are trying to get rid of their cars. You can certainly pick up their car and get a good deal for yourself. It's certainly worth exploring if you're trying to expand and add cars to your fleet. So all that to say, those are 5 different companies that can help you grow and expand your fleet. I would tell you that if you want to have kind of more in-depth commentary on this and experience with this, feel free to talk to me privately. I know all these companies very well. There is nuance to dealing with these, but definitely the first 3 car companies for auto acquisition that I mentioned, I would definitely recommend them. I think they're pretty solid. Overall, like I said, you're going to need some operational history for most of these guys if you want more than 1 or 2 cars from them, but they will start you out typically at a lower level if you have good credit. If you don't have credit and you don't have operational history, I would recommend going to find somebody who does and bring them on your team. So that's what I would do about that. Before I go, click below, grab the 5 things you must do before starting a car rental business. I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you.